Hello. Oh, nobody's here yet. That's sad. I am sad. Cry. Oh, dude, this was a person. Hello, hello. How are you? The window's wide open, so everybody who's walking past will be like, "What is that strange boy doing on his camera?" And I'll be like, "YouTube Live. Yeah, subscribe." Anyway, how's everybody? I don't know what to do. We could do like, or what's the other one that's in C? Hello, Chris. Ah, that's terrible. That's the right key. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. Hello, Glory. Hello, John. No hell below us. Hello, Dylan. Above us is only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us. And the world will live as one. Imagine there's no country. It's hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion to imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, I'm not the only one. I hope someday you join us. And the world never I hope someday you'll join us. And the world never yeah. Hello, Debbie. How are you doing? You're going swimming very soon. I imagine it is very warm in Connecticut. It's quite warm here, but it's not quite 31 degrees as it is in New York. Is it cold in Austria? It's very cold here. It's only about, it's sort of maybe 20 degrees, and that's too cold. Yeah, 30 degrees is my kind of thing. I met a friend recently who I've not seen for years, who's been living in Paris, and he was in Paris when it was 45 degrees, the hottest day they ever had. Apparently, that was very warm. So, there will be another video maybe today or tomorrow, which is a piano guitar cover of Skinny Love by Bon Iver. I'm not really sure how to say his name. Yes, let's hello Stas, how are you? Let's do it. Let's do it. What did I say? Turn down the lights, turn down the bed, turn down these voices inside my head. Lay down with me, tell me why. Just hold me close, don't patronize me, don't patronize. 'Cause I can't make you love me if you don't. I can't make your heart feel something you won't. Oh, here in my arms, this final hour, I will lay down my arms, give you the Oh, so my version of that changes every time. It's very similar to the Bon Iver version. But to sing it, it's probably had to be in that key. Ah! This is transposing live. Turn down the bell, turn down these voices inside my head. Lay down with me and tell me no lie. Just hold me close, don't patronize me, don't patronize. 'Cause I can't make you love me. I can't make your heart feel something you won't. Oh, here in my arms, these final hours, I will lay down my arms. It's a nice tune. I did Skinny Love, but I can't remember for the life of me what key it was in. That's too high. Once in love just last year. So we would never leave. My, staring at the sea, cold blood and crush beneath. So my love, don't break it all. Put out all the ropes and let me flow. My. So this road, so heavy on the skin. And I told you to be gracious, and I told you to be kind. How does it go? And I told you to be balanced, and I told you to be kind. That's a bit high, so we might. So normally when I'm figuring out a key to something, find the highest note that you can sing and then work backwards. So that's very. That's, I can't sing an A. So let's do it in. Oh, I think it was in B flat. And I told you to be patient, and I told you to be kind, and I told you to be balanced, and I told you to be kind. And in the morning I'll be with you, but it'll be a different kind. 'Cause I'll be holding all the tickets, but you'll be earning all the fine. Skinny Love, that is a tune and a half, isn't it? Oh, the theory behind the runs. Okay, so how can I? So basically, I'm teaching a load of basic piano theory to Eric, who watches these videos at the moment, and most of all the little runs I do and the little trills like. They're all chords associated with the root key that you're in, so that's in the key of B flat major. In B flat major, if you play a B flat major in the left hand, you can play all the different inversions, which is just different ways of playing certain chords associated with B flat major. So B flat major, the fourth in that scale is E flat. So that's an E flat triad. You can play the first inversion, second inversion, and then go from that to B triad, B flat triad. And so stuff like that it's all just stuff that's associated with B flat major that I know through basic piano theory, and then the rest is just muscle memory on certain trills like. And then if you play individual notes from chord shapes, so maybe you have a chord shape of E flat second inversion, which is those three notes. If you add in an F as well, so you've got a G, B flat, and an E flat, add in an F, and then just mess around with your fingers. It sounds kind of cool. Those notes on the right hand are just random notes from the scale of B flat major. It sounds really cool. So that's how I kind of write stuff. We can definitely do a collab. So Glory, I met you when we were both at Vienna Pride, which was mad, in Austria, and Glory is actually coming to Winchester to study music, which is just up the road from me. How mad is that? Crazy. Hello David, how are you doing? From the very common Southampton. That is me. Yes, very common Southampton. Hello Phoebe, I hope you're well. I have been playing for how many years? Some years. Yeah, I've been playing for maybe 15 years. However, don't let the amount of time that somebody's been playing put you off. If you think, gosh, I can't learn that all, I need to spend 15 years. You really don't. There's so much you can learn that, the way I learned was quite slow. I didn't necessarily know what I was doing most of the time, and so that's why I think when I teach people, I teach them the basics that it took me a long time to learn or figure out. Music theory is such a useful thing to know, and I was of the mindset when I was a kid that, I don't need to know theory, I can just do it all myself because I'm great, blah blah blah, rubbish like that. Knowing the theory is so very important, and it's so simple. A lot of the piano theory is super simple, and it just gives you a foundation of knowledge to work from. So like, again, what I was saying, if you know the key of B flat major, and you know all the chords associated with that from the scale degrees, which sounds complicated, but it's not that much. You can just play them, and then it gives you great knowledge. And you wouldn't know that unless you'd looked at the theory. You can't really work that well. I mean, you can work it out on your own, but it takes time. Anyway, hello Carlos. I hope you're well. Remembered some names. Phoebe, I'm very well on this good day. I'm ever so tired because obviously the whole Pride thing happened, which was outstanding. Probably easily one of the best days, if not the best day of my life. It was just very cool. And yeah, I'm just incredibly. I think everything has all of a sudden just happened and made me very tired. So I'm very tired. Can I lift this up somehow? Yeah, let's go there. Because now I can talk. It really should be higher because undershots are not very flattering words. But yeah, what should we so I can't really play very much classical stuff. I can't read music because I learn in a different way. There are lots of different ways to learn to play the piano, and lots of them have their advantages and disadvantages. But my disadvantage is I can't really read music very well. It's not been a hindrance to me so far, but if I was to try and get, say, a job at a piano bar where, you know, there are other singers and the singers will want to play certain tunes, and if you've not heard them before, but they can supply the sheet music, if you can read the sheet music, then you're fine, you're away. But if you've not heard the tune before and you can't read sheet music, then you'd either have to say, no, I can't play this, or you'd have to go out of the room for 10 minutes, listen to the tune, figure it out in your head, and then hope you can remember it when you go back. So that's a disadvantage of learning by ear and not sheet music. But the main advantage to learning by ear and not from sheet music is you don't rely on sheet music, and you can play things away from any sheet. Like, let's say you went to a random piano in somewhere, like, I don't know, you went to Dubai and there was a piano there. You could play it without any sheet music. That's the advantage of learning by ear. Another advantage of learning by ear is, say, you could listen to a tune, hear it in your head, and then go and play it at a piano, depending on how advanced you are at playing by ear. So yeah, there's that. Am I making a piano course? Yes. I was in the middle of making that, but then all this Pride in London stuff happened, which was amazing, but I had to take time away from making these videos. But yeah, so I've got a series of piano videos which I started again recording yesterday called Piano Basics 101, which is just a load of videos on the most fundamental skills you should have as a pianist, really. And I think it will give a really good base understanding, a foundation of knowledge that means you can go away and learn things and understand what you're doing, which I think is very important. Anyway, there we are. So yes, Paul, I am making a series of piano tuition videos. Also do private piano lessons. Should you be interested, drop me a message and we'll go out from there. Advice to get through GCSE music. Yes. I don't know what, because I did GCSE music, I don't know how it's changed since I did it. Yeah, what advice do you want pertaining to GCSE music? Because there's quite a lot of things. There's the exam, composition. I can't remember what else was involved. You have to do a composition, I think. That was what I was good at. Oh yeah, that's a good question. What exam board are you? Performance as well. Yeah, I forgot about that. How was it? Stats. I hope it was good. I think I was on OCR. I can't remember. But yeah, so for the composition, it depends what kind of a composition you want to do. I think you're given like a description or a couple of options for what kind of composition to do, or at least you were when I did it. And I think I went for like a pop tune, or something. And then you have to do a description of what it's about or something. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, I think I did a basic pop tune. What kind of advice do you want? I can give you advice on how to write a tune, but then there's also recording it is important as well. How you record it is always good. We had to do 2 compositions. One of them was a free composition, one of them was based on a stimulus. Yeah, cool. I found the one that was based on a stimulus, or an idea, so long as you can vaguely put into words how it's related to that idea, you can still stray quite far from that, I found. But I would definitely ask your teachers about that, because if you stray quite far from it and you're trying to justify it and the exam board says no, that's not right, then I'd feel bad for making you do that. Yeah. So yeah, that. What else? How did my GCSE composition? I think I can still play it. I think it was. No. Then what was it? And that was like on steel drums. It was terrible. It was really bad. But I got good marks for it. I don't know how. It might not have been that. It might have been. I can't remember. But either way, it wasn't great. Okay, so my advice for writing a tune is have an intro, find a good structure to it first. So find an intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, second verse, pre-chorus, second chorus, then probably a middle eight, which is a little bit different, and then after the middle eight into your third and final chorus. That's like the basic song progression that I would suggest you follow. And in terms of building that, find different but related chord sequences. Now, if you don't know much about chord sequences, I'd find some chord sequences online. I'll give you a verse chord sequence would be maybe F, D minor, C major, B flat major. And then you can have a pre-chorus. And then chorus. And then middle eight beat. I don't know. Yeah, but that's a really, really naff demonstration on how to write a tune. If you drop me a message, I can give you more advice on how to write tunes. But also then there's that, how do you record it? Instrumentation is important. I think you probably get more marks if you include multiple instruments. So have a drum beat in there, maybe add a bass. If I was writing something in a day, I'd make piano, drums, and bass. That's probably all I'd do. Maybe some strings as well. And obviously build it so that the end is more big and exciting than the beginning. The beginning you'd want to keep quite sparse, maybe just have just piano or just a single instrument, maybe just guitar, and vocals as well. And then first chorus you might want to have a very basic drum beat. If drum beats and stuff like that are completely out of what you are capable of recording due to, primarily I imagine that would be due to technological limitation, like you don't have programs that can program drum beats in for you, then I shouldn't worry about that. I mean, the best person to ask is your teachers. I don't work for an exam board, but yeah, it's probably quite hard for me to say over a live video. But if you want some more advice on songwriting or how to record things, yeah, drop me a message and I'll help you out or something. Right. Okay, so when I was recording for my GCSEs, I didn't use Logic. Nothing like that was around. Or, well, it probably was, but I didn't have access to it. So my dad had a 16-track multi-recorder thingy. So you could record separate stuff onto 16 different tracks, so they'd go over each other. So you'd record the piano on one track, drums on another track, guitar on another track, and vocals on another track. Maybe not all those instruments, but that was the principle behind it. So if you can get a multi-track recorder, that's the best way, or some form of recording multiple tracks at once. Yeah, Logic's a really good idea. If your school has access to Logic or computer programs where you can have multiple tracks, record it all at school. And yeah, I think you probably get a lot more marks, or you probably get, I don't know, the examiner will probably prefer the track if it has multiple tracks. I don't know though. I mean, there's many really good songs that are just one instrument and one vocal, or no vocals at all, just instrumentation. But yeah, I should probably do a proper video on that because it's been a lot of years since I did GCSE music. But yeah, I remember I finished my A-level composition on the way into the exam about it, and I think I still got good marks for it. I can't remember. I think it was out of 90 or something, and I got 80 something. So there's a lot of, it's not necessarily about having a really good composition, it's about, the problem with those exam boards is about making the composition appropriate to the stimulus they've given you, or sort of stuff like that. So it's a bit of a, Yeah, and if you don't get a good grade, screw it. Don't listen to the examiners. If you think it's a good song, it's a good song. Um, yeah, but there we go. That's yeah. What else can we do? I realised that wasn't probably the most great advice, but it's yeah. You caught me out the blue on exam advice. You're not going to struggle at it all. What year are you in? Are you just going into GCSE music, or are you finishing GCSE music? Because I guess it's going to be the start of a new year. Like exams are all finished. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Yeah, providing it in. Yeah, I think all the notes I did for my compositions I did afterwards, but predated them, so it looked like I had done them during the. So yeah, that's a tip I'd give you. If you have to provide like annotations during your process of writing the song, just do them afterwards, and include a couple of places where you've maybe changed your mind. I just come up with stuff. It's all to make it give it the appearance of, yeah, doing what the exam board want you to do. And yeah, okay, fair enough. If you're just going into year 10 now, speak to your teachers. They'll know so much more about it. But yeah, and then if you want any advice, just come and ask me and I can give you any advice that I do know. Or especially on recording techniques, if you have a song that is well recorded, that will be a really big bonus as well. Anyway, yeah, changing your mind. If you write down that you've changed your mind, that shows development, and the examiners will be like, oh yeah, they've done this, and then they've changed it to that. Oh, that's great. Give you some more marks. Everybody wants more marks, yeah, because what is life if you're not graded on something that is subjective? But there we go. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Oh, yeah, okay, so tutorial for Only Love. Yeah, I mean, so basically every time I play something, I know the chords and I just embellish around it, but Only Love is actually, it's the same every time, so. Ah, that's interesting. So I noticed when Tom Odell writes a song, like maybe the introduction includes the melody line that he sings in the verse. The introduction includes that melody line in the piano part. So for example, Only Love is only love, only love, only love can make you cry. In the introduction, you do that melody line in the right hand. Actually, it only does that for the chorus, so it doesn't do it for the verses. But yeah, so yeah, having your hook line in the instrumentation as well is a good thing to do. I noticed Tom Odell did that, and I was like, I'm going to do that. So there we go. Yeah. I came up with a solo for the end of that now as well. It goes. Now, there's a Tom Odell video, because I talk a lot about Tom Odell. It's not because I have some weird obsession with him, it's because he plays piano and that's like a good basis for me. Like, he's quite successful, so if I can take things from that will apply to what I want to do, then that's good. But he did a video to, maybe, is it Jubilee Road, I think? And it was just a really nicely filmed video. So I'd quite like to record this in my bedroom because it's a nice space, and then have the bassist in here as well and the drummer. Obviously the track would all be recorded beforehand, but the video would be synced up to the recording and it would just look nice. And so that's the kind of thing I'd like to do. So hopefully sometime in the future there will be a video of Only Love recorded with a nice video, and then it'll be on YouTube, and then the BBC will want to purchase it and pay for me to live on an island somewhere. That's the idea anyway. Still in Love by Third Story. I do not, I'm afraid. Josh, hello, Josh. Everybody can come to the island. It'll be a wholesome island full of love and happiness and friendship and pianos. And maybe an orchestra. I love an orchestra to follow me around. There's a really funny video of Ben Folds who's like writing a tune for an orchestra, and that could happen. I mean, we could have like our maybe our first and second violins going. I don't know what that means, but anyway. Right, I should probably go because I am giving a piano lesson in 5 minutes. Woo! ABRSM grades. Interesting. I did grade 1 piano at school, and that was after I'd started learning myself. So I did grade 1 piano, and then I passed that. Probably not with any great distinction or anything. And then I was going to skip grade 2 and go to grade 3, but I thought grades weren't really for me, so I stopped at that point. I didn't do any more grades than that. Oh my god, play the harp oh my god, I'd love a harp. A friend of mine, Lucy, she plays the harp and it's brilliant. But yeah, I did. Oh, Eric, okay, Eric. Well, what would you like to hear, Eric? Maybe I'll do one more song and then we can start the old piano lesson. But my voice is a bit tired, so I probably won't do much longer video anyway. Yeah, what should we do one more song? What should we do? Oh, that's a cool chord. What can we do? Let's write a song. And we'll write something better than we did earlier. That's a bit boring. So that will be our little verse. Right, we need a subject for the song. Somebody give me a subject. I'll just take words from the chat. So Eric, you make everything look easy. You make everything look easy. I'm not really sure how you're doing that anymore. You make the sound of my heart. Yeah, now pre-chorus. And I don't know, I'd recommend listening to Michaela Davis. She plays the harp and chorus. And I know I've got myself to get me going. I know I've got myself to where I wanna go. So that's like a basis of a whole song. Yes. song. So if anybody wants to use that for their GCSE composition, be my guest. Or just use the idea of writing different sections. One of the things I've said before, if you want to write something, just have a repeating melody in the right hand and change the chords in the left hand is another really good way to write a song. So if you let's come up with a repeating melody in C major, because it's the most fun of all the keys, maybe. Something like that. It's not very imaginative, but. Or we could add in some more interesting chords. Oh yeah, that's it. And that's how to write a basic tune. Again, we could do, let's do a repeating riff in B flat major. What could we do? Or a sadder riff in G minor. No, that's terrible. Anyway, that's a bit naff. One more. Okay, E. D chord. And so on, and then maybe play it on a random synth, and then your music teacher will love you. I don't know. You can compose easily until you need to. Oh man. Well, in that case, record all the things you compose when you don't need to, and then go back to them when you need them. Yeah. Life is easy when there's no pressure, but also just never feel any pressure. It doesn't do you any good. I'm very bad with, well, no, I don't know. I put pressure on myself. And I find in life you can come up with time constraints that don't really exist. There's like this thing that keeps getting shared on Facebook. And I don't really like motivational quotes and all that. But this one is like, the idea is everybody does things on their own time scale. You know, I think it's like 7 billion people can't do the same things in the same order. And it's very true. Like, all this idea of having to complete things by a certain age, or having to ace all your exams. I mean, it's logical to do well in exams, but, and your parents will probably hate me for saying this, it's not the end of the world if you don't do brilliantly in your exams. It's really not, because you can do it again, or what have you. That's probably the worst advice to ever give. But yeah, you don't need to buy a house by a certain point. You don't need to have all the savings in the world by a certain point. You don't have to have one job forever. You don't have to work in an office. You don't have to ace your exams. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, just pressure is not a great thing for the human body, I suppose. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Tips on playing by ear. Yes. So I did a bit with Eric and basically play simple songs. So if you've never played by ear before, um, best thing. It's kind of hard to do it without two people because what I would do is I'd sit somebody down at piano and I'd tell them to close their eyes. Then I'd play a note, maybe this, and then I'd tell them, okay, now look at the piano and play the note that I just played, and they might be like, oh no, it actually sounded higher. Oh, that sounds like what you just played. Sort of stuff like that. That's a very poorly explained level, but just kind of like tasks like that I think help. And then maybe I'll say, okay, that's one note. Is this note higher or lower? And they'll be like, it's higher. Stuff like that forms the basis of understanding how to play by ear. Yeah. Yeah, so what Dylan says is if you can already do that kind of stuff, and like if I play that and you know, oh, I can play that, oh yeah, it's that, blah blah blah. Again, this is a very rushed way of explaining it, but if you are at that stage already and you want to learn a piece by listening to it, listen to a very small section, listen to it lots, pause it, play it, pause it, play it. Even on YouTube you can slow down clips so you can hear the notes even slower at the same pitch. Then that's a really good way of listening to a small section, working on a small section, getting that right, and then moving on to the next part. If I've learned anything from music, it's all about learning big things in tiny sections and then putting it all together. Much like writing a tune, you write it in sections and then you put it all together. I guess much like life, you achieve lots of little things and they make a whole enjoyable life. Yay! But there we are. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it. So I need to go get ready for a piano lesson. I need to eat a little bit first. So Eric, if you're there, should we say 6:30? Is that okay? 6:30 my time will be 12:30 your time. Boo, 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 boo. Anyway, I hope that was okay. So it may look like I came up with a whole song in 5 minutes, but then I'm terrible at words. Like I could write that in 5 minutes and then be stuck on words for months. There's tunes I wrote last year that I really like, and I just haven't got words for them. And they're tunes I think I'd like to record and I think would be cool, but you can't have them without words, because if you put something on Spotify without words, people will be like, now where's the words? And I'd be like, I didn't write them. And they'd be like, well, that's not good enough. And I'd be like, sorry. So yeah, I'll get some words done. But yeah, words I find difficult. I can write tunes, but I'm not great with words, so I need a Bernie Taupin. Seconds. But yeah, I have been playing for many, many years. Eric, that's cool. 6 p.m. my time, 6:30 p.m. Yeah, same as Elton John. What's yeah, let's write another tune. Oh, ha! Not like that. Also, all these chord sequences are just chord sequences I've played before, probably. That's Elton John. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. Yeah. So I didn't write that, sadly. I only just learned how to do that. I always used to slide with like a thumb and a nail. It would always be really painful. But if you use the palm of your hand on like the edge of the keys, it's so cool. And the piano, it sounds like a carnival, and so on. Anywho, Right. Yeah, if you need any more advice with music related things, probably Instagram is the best place to. I don't know if you can even message on YouTube. Who knows? Or just put it in the comments below here on one of these videos, and I'll try and figure something out. I'll give some constructive advice, or maybe even do a whole video on it as well. But yeah, coolio. No, thank you so much. This has been a really good video. I've been super pleased. Many people have watched, so thank you very much. I will get some more videos up in the week. But yeah, I hope you all have an amazing week. I might do a midweek type thingy madoodah, maybe, I'm not sure. I also don't know what's happened with the Wimbledon. So yeah, I might go find that out as well. But anyway, have an amazing week. Thank you ever so much. I hope that was interesting and vaguely helpful, especially on the whole music GCSE front and stuff. But yeah, thank you very much. I will see you again soon. And until next week, very, very happy musicking. Thanks so much. It's great to see everybody here. So thanks to everybody who has joined and who has commented and contributed to this wonderful show. I say wonderful show, that's really narcissistic. I mean, it's basically your show because you make it. Because if it was just me sitting here talking to a camera with nobody else, that'd be quite sad, really. But oh my god, I spat. Ooh. But anyway, thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you all soon. Take it easy and happy musicking.